Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course on how to set up your very own WordPress membership site. So this is going to be video number 1, and before we jump into the technical aspect of implementation and installing the WordPress plugin and getting everything set up, I want to talk about mindset. There is a specific reason why we have laid out the video course the way it is, and you'll see in just a minute. But basically, the whole goal is to not overwhelm you, because it's actually not overwhelming once you have mapped out everything correctly. Meaning that you have mapped out what is your site going to look like? What are the customers going to see? What kind of levels do they have access to? Everything like that. How are you going to deliver your content? How are you going to drip feed it? So you see, not mapping out your site ahead of time, not figuring out what exactly you want to do, or at least a baseline of what you want to do, is going to confuse you like crazy. And when you begin to implement everything and look at the technical aspect, it just won't make sense, right? So to give you kind of a deeper view of how everything is laid out and why everything is laid out, so that you're able to implement it faster at a much faster rate, very successfully, let me give you a quick overview of what's in this video course. So obviously video number 1 is this particular video. Video number 2 is mapping out your product menu. Now, the reason why you want to do this is you want to get an idea of what the customer sees when they first log in. And then you want to map out your membership site funnel so that you can get a bird's eye view of how many levels there are, how are you going to drip feed it. Are you going to release all the content within a week or at one time or within a month? How are you going to go about doing that? So you don't have to worry right now about how you're going to do it, but what you're going to do. Because I will talk about the how from video 5 and on. So at video 4, we're going to discuss different WordPress membership plugins that are available to you. And I'll show you the ones that we have looked at, the ones we have tested, and the ones that we have found to be really, really user-friendly and makes things look good. Video number 5, we're going to talk about accessing, install it, and customizing it and getting started. Video number 6, we're going to talk about creating a product, creating a membership site level, because that's crucial, and that's kind of the structure or skeleton, if you can think of that way, of your site. Video number 7, we're going to talk about content and file protection, because obviously you want to make sure that you protect your content, your files, from people who have not paid for your product. And that essentially also protects your customers as well. And of course, video number 8, we're going to talk about completion. We're going to do everything that we can to show you how to go from that point of content and file protection to actually setting everything up so that you're good to go. So these videos right here will primarily be screen capture based. You'll be able to follow me step by step on the screen, and these over here, videos 1 through 4, are going to be primarily conceptual, but at the same time, they're the fundamentals and they're things that you have to think about before you move to video 5 to 8. All right, so now that you kind of understand what's ahead and what to expect, now let's go ahead and jump right into video number 2 and talk about mapping out your product menu. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, and we're going to talk about mapping out your product menu. And the reason why we want to do this is because we want to make sure that we understand what your customers are going to see. So before we map out your whole membership site, well, let's take a look at your product. And you'll see in just a minute why we are taking baby steps and we're taking a look at what the people see first before we take a look at the membership site funnel. This is why. You see, it's crucial to have an idea of how your tutorial, your video course, your ebook, your software, your digital product, or whatever you're trying to sell is actually broken down into different modules. So in other words, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a parent-child hierarchy so that you can keep your membership site organized. So we're taking a look at essentially the inside pages of your actual membership site. So here's what I mean, and it doesn't really have to get any complex at all. So let's say, for example, that you have module 1, module 2, module 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something. So module 1 would look something like this. So you would have module 1, subtopic 1, subtopic 2, subtopic 3. So if this was a video course, your module 1 could be like intro, and maybe subtopic 1 could be like the getting started. Number 2 could be like different tools that you would need. Number 3 would be something else. Now, that would obviously be easy for something like a tutorial, a video course, or an ebook. But if you're dealing with something like software, and maybe you could have like the welcome video, you could have access to the software, and then maybe module 2, you could have the video training for that specific piece of software. Now, if you had coaching, if you had consulting, same thing. You would have just breakdown of all of your subtopics. So same with module 2, module 3, and so forth. Now, if you just lay it all out and you have a better idea of how everything is broken down into, then guess what? As far as getting everything set up, your pages and all of that, it's going to be a really, really fast process, right? So that's as simple as that. Just lay it all out, write down module 1. What is module 1? What is subtopic 1? What is subtopic 2 and 3? And if you have an outline, and you can literally create the outline within less than half an hour or an hour. And once you have that, and once you create your whole membership site, all the levels, all the pages, then you can literally go in and just plug and play, plug it in, and then get it up and running, and you're good to go. So literally what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you all the pieces of the puzzle in baby steps so that when you implement everything, it's going to be a lot more faster. All right. So with that said, let's move on to video number 3.